ॐ श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः. So we have had some understanding of what Veda is, hopefully by now. So Veda has got two sections, can be looked at as having two sections. The first one is called Karmakanda, which deals with all actions to be done or to be avoided, to be not done. And the second part is called Vedanta. And the first part, the Veda Purva, the earlier part of the Veda, gives you means and ends as to how you can make your wishes, fulfill your wishes in some ways, in keeping with dharma. It tells you about unknown ends, also informs you of means for known and unknown ends. But whatever karma you do, the karma will produce a result, an outcome. Result and outcome is of two types: what is seen here and now, and what is not seen, which will fructify at some point later. So the one which is seen now is called Drishtaphalam. The one which will fructify later, which is not seen right now, is called Adrishtaphalam. So these are two types of outcomes. This Adrishtaphalam, the unseen results, a collection of them is what gives rise to this body in this lifetime. So as we do more karmas, we will be generating this Adrishtam, which will lead to a perpetuation of life after life or death after death, whichever way you want to look at it, okay? So if you're a positive thinker, you'll see life after life. If you're a negative thinker, you'll see death after death. Mrityo samrityu mapnoti ya iha nanaiva pashyati. Upanishad will put it like that. Mrityo samrityu mapnoti. You will go from death to death. Would you like to hear that? I'll go from death to death. No, I don't want it. Then you better understand what it's all about. So this is this is the way that this cycle is. And by doing karmas, by adhering to life of dharma, one can reach a position of even the Srishtikarta for a given kalpa. You can become Brahmaji. That much you can get. What more do I want? Then stay with karma. There's nothing more to be done. Only keep in mind, if you want the outcome of a result, outcome of a karma, then you have to do every karma exactly as it is mandated. Not just doing. How you live also is mandated in some ways. So you have to be very cautious. And if you don't follow any one aspect of it, your karma may not work. It's like, you go to the government, you apply for something. Then after some 2 months, 3 months, you wonder what happened. They will say your one column you did not tick it. Over. Now you will say now it's expired. You apply again. You start all over one more time. This time what? You didn't put some small thing. So everything matters. NA you have to write. You have to write, otherwise you won't accept it. So like this, unless you make sure every single detail is followed, the outcome is not guaranteed. You may get something. This idea is told in the Mundakopanishad that you have to have a fire, you have to know exactly when to offer. See, people just think it's just offering to the fire. It's not that. The fire has to be burning bright. And when you offer, you should hear, you should say swaha and then offer, not before, not later. It should be offered exactly in a given location in the Homakunda, not anywhere you like. What you offer is important. These are all simpler details. That you live a life of truth, that you don't hurt others. These are things you have to follow in life. It is not just karma. There is dharma involved. And if you follow all these, then Veda says if you do everything right, this is the result promise, you'll get it. You don't worry about it, you'll get it. Shraddha you have, you do. But as I said, whatever you do, you can get better opportunities, better lives. What is better, what is worse, depends on what you want. So in the Gita, Bhagavan says, Ye yatha mam prapadyante tan tathaiva bhajamyaham. As a person seeks, as a person approaches me, in whichever way, seeking what, wishing what a person approaches me, in that way I bless the person. So if you go and say, you know, Lakshmi, Maya, Varade, what? Mujhe karodpati kar de. Make me a karodpati. Make me a rich man. Lakshmi, Maya might bless you. But you go and say Saraswati, you know, go to Saraswati and say, you know, give me Vidya. Siddhir bhavatu me sada. Twamaham prarthaye devi vidyadanam cha dehi me. Then she will give you Vidya. So what you ask for, it's like going to a supermarket. You have your wallet loaded with several credit cards. What you buy is only what he will give you. He cannot charge your card unnecessarily. Correct. So you have to pick up. You have a trolley. You go to supermarket. You pick what you like. Many a time you pick what you want. Other time things walk into your trolley because they want to come with you. Right? So you didn't intend to buy it, but you bought because you saw there was a sale. 3 for the price of 1. Let me take it. When you come home, you see expiry date 1 month away. Can't do much with that. But that's how you end up doing things. So, but what you choose finally, if you have money, you choose where it's applied. Therefore, and here, it is not just earn money. Even as you do a karma, you say for which purpose you are doing karma. And the money is put in the appropriate account. So if you keep praying for wealth, next life, maybe you'll get a wealthy life or a wealthy wife. Doesn't matter. You will get some wealth. Okay. But if you prayed for Vidya, you might get that. If you prayed for a better parentage, you might get that. What you get depends on what you ask for. Swamiji would say, you don't get what you deserve. You get what you negotiate for. You have to negotiate. Okay? Everywhere you have to negotiate. You get what you negotiate. Therefore, it's important to know that the choice is in your hand. What you do, what you don't do, how you do, for what you do, it's all in your hand. In your hand means it depends on your understanding. Not just understanding, the ability to live as per the understanding. So the first and foremost thing in human life is the ability to make choices. Make choices consciously, rationally, with all factors in place, not being overwhelmed by emotions or other considerations. This is the post. This is what distinguishes a human being from an animal. As a human being, you can choose. As an animal, you're programmed. A tiger doesn't choose. It will choose, but within a narrow range. It can't choose whether I'll have veg or non-veg. That choice it doesn't have, okay? Its choice is fixed. To that extent, it is fixed. More or less programmed. See, even a tiger has to see, should I go after this impala or that zebra? It has to think. There is something involved. Even a cow will come to you if you offer green grass. If you hold a stick, it won't come to you. So animals also have certain basic viveka that even every being has, every living being has. That doesn't distinguish us. What distinguishes a human being is the ability to choose, the ability to do, to not do, to do differently. This ability is unique to human beings. And the Veda is helping you, going along with your thinking that I'm a human being, I'm limited, I can get better. Going along with the thinking, the Veda tells you what you can do to gain what you want to gain. And in the process, if you want to use the tools of the Veda, it has its own guidelines to how you should live your life. But even if you follow those guidelines, live your life, and you live your life through dharma, legitimate way, without hurting others, etc., still you will have punya papa and you will be coming to life after life. If somebody recognizes that this is not what I want, I mean, I'm always trying to become different. Whatever I have, I'm not happy with. Somewhere an insight comes into your head that is it, am I going to become, am I ever going to end this process of becoming different? What I am becoming doesn't change, may keep changing. But that I want to be different from what I am, from that there seems to be no respite, no retirement. I'm always trying to change something, improve something, get rid of something, avoid something. Tendencies may be less strong or more strong in some areas, but this is how we live. If the question is this what life is all about? Is it like being on a treadmill where you keep running without moving an inch? You don't go anywhere on a treadmill. You run, you exercise, but you don't go anywhere. If this question arises, then the Veda says, okay, you have one more thing to look at, which is Vedanta. And I'm saying the person who comes to Vedanta, we will see all this in Vivekananda partly, is who is the person who is qualified? Who is the person? Because Veda, Vedanta, both are means of knowledge. They only inform you. But to understand anything, you need a certain preparedness. The preparedness to study Veda really is Shraddha, a human mind, a will to do, and to do what is done. We told that you have to do, you have to study, and what it says that karma you have to do. This is how Veda works. But Vedanta is different. It's like saying admission to LKG and admission to PhD. The criteria are different or not. LKG, every kid is eligible, unless there is a special case, some learning disability. But otherwise, every kid is fair. Which school you get admission doesn't matter. But because some school will want bigger fees, some school will want some reference, whatever they want. But every child is eligible to go to LKG. Is every child eligible to go to IIT? Is every child eligible to go to medical school? Is every child even eligible to go to best schools that you know? You want your children to go to the right school. Are they eligible? You may want them to be, but they have to prove themselves. Correct? Same way, if you want to come to, now, suppose we said, no problem, every child is eligible. Come, whoever wants can come anywhere. First, you have to clear a bar. You come, you try. What do you think will happen? A lot of people will come and fall off, that's all. Because you won't clear the bar. So, Vedanta, the bar is not physical. The bar really is to say, what do you want? What do you want? Do you want to change something? Do you want to, improve some things in life, retaining your, your individuality? If that is what you want, you continue with Veda. There's nothing I have to offer to you. That's what it will tell you. Insofar as I want to become bigger, better, different, retaining my individuality, Veda is enough. Purvabhaga of Veda is enough. If you say, I want to be free from this limitation for good, then Vedanta says, I have something to say. You don't know it now, but what does it have to say? It says, if you want to come, first make sure you're not interested in anything else. Make sure you're not interested in anything else. What does it mean? You don't see any you do things. You eat, you drink, you go to work, you come back, you do a lot of things. But Your heart is not in all of them thinking they will make you many better. You know that this is just a way to live. I have to pay the bills, I have to get some money, that's all right. But this is not going to make me a better or a happier person. Suppose you know this. See, the secret is until you gain happiness from something, your happiness depends on something else. Do you want to gain happiness? You think a little carefully here, okay? Do you want to gain happiness or do you want to be happy? Now, it sounds the same. They're not the same. Do you want to gain happiness or do you want to be the happy person? Why do you want to gain happiness? Because I want to be the happy person. Now, suppose I say the happy person need not gain anything to be happy. What happiness do you have when you see a beautiful sunrise? Do you have happiness or not? Are you a happy person or not? Are you a happy person when you're sleeping or not? So you want to be a happy person, right? And suppose I can tell you, you're a happy person has nothing to do with what you gain or lose. Then, then you wonder, how come I was happy with everything being the same? How come I smiled in between? They talk of this story that there's a person who is being chased by a tiger. He's running for his life. And then, you know, he's there's a cliff and he falls off pretty much. And fortunately, there's a vine which he holds on to on the side of the cliff. Then he looks below. There is another tiger there, right? Then he sees that that vine he's hanging on to is being gnawed at by a rat. So, what do you think his situation is now? He is hanging for his life, dear life. If he manages to go up, there's a tiger roaring from above. If he goes below, there's a tiger below, or a snake below, whatever you imagine, okay? And then a rat is cutting his lifeline. Meanwhile, he saw a nice berry, a luscious berry in front of him, and he smiled. Means in the midst of everything, you can smile. For a moment, when you suspend your wish for something to be different, you smile. Is that not true? What makes us smile? What makes us smile? Is it because, do you always smile because you got something? Do you always smile because you achieved something? How often do you smile without achieving anything? When somebody tells a joke, what do you do? You know, so Bush, Bush, old man, Bush, he was asked, you can extend to Trump also, you know, you would ask a question to him. Basically, the thing is, how do you find the right team for your administration? So I have to select intelligent people. All right. This is an old time joke, all right. So when Manmohan Ji was our prime minister. So Manmohan Singh was called and asked, how do you select your team? I ask intelligent questions. Wonderful. What's the question you ask? If, you know, if you have two brothers, okay, who is the person who is the son of your father, who is neither your younger brother nor your older brother? You understand the question? Who is that person who is the son of your father, who is neither your younger brother nor your older brother, and your father has only three sons? Who would that be? Bush said, I don't know. What's the answer? But how do I ask Manmohan Singh how to answer this question? So he He called somebody else. He asked them. Then, one of his people, you know, they found out. They asked Manmohanji himself, who is it? Manmohanji, of course it is me, Manmohan Singh. Wonderful. I got the answer now. Because father, son, neither younger brother nor older brother, who would be? It would be him only. So it's Manmohan Singh. Now, Bush said, okay, now I'm also going to hire this question. So he asked the question. When the answer came, he said, wrong. Anybody is wrong. Why? He doesn't say his father is Manmohan Singh. He's not Manmohan Singh. So this is the kind of fellow, okay? Now, did it make you laugh? What did you fulfill? What desire did you fulfill in this process? No desire you fulfill. Which means you don't need to fulfill a desire to smile, do you? So what is it that makes you laugh? And look in our own life. Look at people living with very little means. How the children are laughing and playing. Children, older people leave alone, are they? And if a person is drunk, you see him. Not too drunk, okay? Reasonably drunk. He'll be happy. He'll be happy. In fact, he gets drunk so he can be happy. That's his reason. Why? What happens when you get a drink? It produces happiness or what? It cuts away your thinking. It makes you dull, actually. But what it dulls is your pain. Your agendas dulls. They all fade away for some time, and therefore you're free. So what do you really need? You need to be free from your agendas. So now Vedanta has to tell you what? Look, this free person you already are. You're that person. But because you don't know who you really are, and you take yourself to be as good as this mind and body, you are struggling. Are you willing to understand who you are? And in the process, what will you know? You will know that you happen to be free from all limitations. But to get there, you first must discover I am not interested in anything that this fellow wants to gain to become bigger. If you're interested in ends here and now, then you cannot see this is not me. Because this fellow is committed. The one identified in the mind is committed to certain ends. If that commitment is there, you cannot now falsify your identity. It's not a possibility. You have to be open. See, truth is always like this. You have to be open to whatever the truth is. You cannot predetermine what the truth will be. Truth can be pleasant, can be unpleasant. That's your judgment on it. But truth is just what it is. How tall is this person? 5 feet 8 inches. It won't change whether you want the person to be taller or shorter. No, my son is, 5 feet. How can I have a bride who is 5 feet 8 inches tall? That's your problem. But what really counts is that you know the height is 5 feet 8. Now, whether it's suitable for a purpose is a different matter. Right? So facts are like this. So Vedanta requires a person who can be very, very objective, brutally objective, unconditionally objective. You have no value for anything but the truth. It's like a scientist who is doing research. What do you look for? The truth. That truth you can't compromise on. So somebody is looking for something. How did penicillin get discovered? They were looking for something else came up accidentally. But the fact is, you follow the science. When you put this fungus, things die. Why? That's how penicillin got discovered. That commitment to truth has to be there. And that means you have to be able to handle situations that comes to you in life. You have to be honest and objective all the way. So this preparation, what is the connection of Veda, this being prepared for Vedanta? This is where we have to understand this living the life of dharma as told by the Veda. Even doing the karmas as told by the Veda, but not for any ends outside. But you say, I want to apply the credit for this action towards my becoming prepared for Vedanta, towards my what we call Antakarana Shuddhi. Means being a person who has a mind which is with myself. I don't get swayed by emotions, don't get swayed by situations. This is the person. You want to grow into that. And what are the means for that? So, this is a topic which we will cover as we can in the text, but it is not covered extensively in Veda Chudamani. It's a Vedanta text. This matter is a very good coverage is in the Bhagavad Gita. But what are the primary things involved? Number one, you first, whether you want success in life, without Vedanta or with Vedanta, first thing is we have to acknowledge the presence of Ishvara. Very, very important. There is something which governs everything. What is Ishvara? Not a person sitting there somewhere. It is the very infrastructure, a conscious being whose knowledge enables all the infrastructure. And every possibility that we find in life is given to us. The possibility is given, the probability is given. How you use it is up to you. So you have a system, right? And you find something doesn't work on your computer. What can you do? If it doesn't work, you can have something called diagnose. How computer diagnose itself? You tell me. How a computer can diagnose itself? We used to have these things called board testers, which are used to test IC boards. And you could tell the board tester if it doesn't work, you test yourself first. It's called a self-diagnostic. How does it do it? How can something test itself? That's because that thing is not an independent thing. That computer, that board tester are created by a human being with a program intelligence to look what is wrong with them. It's all programmed. And through that, they have a certain limited capacity to look at what is wrong. Like if you are sitting on a Windows system and your internet doesn't connect, it says diagnose, you run. Half the time it will tell you, go figure out. It won't tell you anything useful. But it does do sometimes, it will do some small thing for you. It will reset your modem for you. It will do sometimes. It will restart something. It will do something. So I'm saying like this, we all are programmed in a way, but with the will to choose. We have certain ability. It's not that you have to read something to know how to live life. Honesty is hard-coded. It's already coded here. Honesty is right. Not hurting is right. That's coded into us. Right? But now you recognize there is a presence called Ishvara. And what is Ishvara? All knowledge. What does all knowledge mean to us? It means that there is no mistake possible in the setup I am in. Everything in the setup is exactly what it should be because this is how the system is set up. It cannot be wrong because what is setting up is an all-knowing entity. It's like in your dream, every single person, every single tree, every single emotion is in place because that's how you want your dream to be, not you as by choice. But I'm saying in your dream, whatever is there, if somebody in dream says, why is this tree green like this? Why are the leaves like this? Why is it not circular? What's the answer? That's how a tree is. Why is it so? Because your idea of a tree is like that. Same way. All knowledge Ishvara means you understand the benefit of understanding this. That what is there, you don't question it. You don't say, why is it like this? You say, what can I do? If you want to change it, you look at what's possible for you to do. My freedom is only in terms of response. So what the Gita will tell you is if we live our life, first thing, my goal is no longer in improving ends and means here. I know that any ends I gain are limited. Therefore, what I really want is that end where I am no longer seeking. That's what I'm really seeking. That end is called moksha, freedom. Freedom from what? Freedom from whatever I don't want. All right. If I want that goal, which means that goal, I should understand next, that goal is not the end or the outcome of an action, because an outcome of an action can be undone. It's in time, it will be gained in time, it will be go in time. Therefore, it cannot be something produced in time. If it's not something produced in time, every action produces a result in time after the action. Therefore, that cannot be what will really free me from what I want. Because any result, any outcome is spent over time. Suppose you earned money, it's spent over time. You have a body, it will die over time. Anything that comes in time goes in time. Therefore, I am not interested in the result of the action. Then what am I interested in? I'm interested in freedom. Then what should you do? You have to be a contributor in society. Do what you have to do. Be in harmony, but do it seeing clearly that all the factors of action are a blessing given by Ishvara to me. The outcome of the actions are also the law, manifesting law, which is Ishvara's knowledge. So, if you want to understand this, Newton is a scientist, but what he discovered is an aspect of Ishvara. Einstein discovered an aspect of Ishvara. Every Nobel Prize winner is discovering an aspect of Ishvara. And there'll be enough Nobel Prize winners for all time to come because there'll always be something more to discover. But what you're doing in science is trying to know the truth. What we are saying in Vedanta is also knowing the truth. What's the difference? Science begins with taking you for granted. You are the knower. We start from there. Where science leaves, we start. We say, who says you are the knower? Are you always a knower? If you are a knower, you should always be the knower. But you are not a knower all the time. Therefore, what are you really? If you're not a knower, what are you? Are you a doer? You're not doing all the time. What are you all the time? Never away from that. In waking, dream, and sleep. That is who you are. Do you know who you are? I don't know. How are you going to know? Or tell me how I should know. I'm ready to look for it. You can't look for it because the one who is looking is the one you want to know. How are you going to find yourself? A cat or a dog may manage to catch its tail. You will see it going round and round. It may, perchance, manage to catch its tail, but you will never see yourself. Impossible. You can look at a mirror. True. But a mirror will show your face, the body. It won't show you what keeps this body running. Therefore, you need to understand that this recognizing your truth is not going to happen with a means of knowledge which you have in your hand. Therefore, who is going to tell you about it? Only Vedanta Shastra. So you have to Shraddha in the Shastra. Right? You want moksha, you have Shraddha in the Shastra. So you understand I don't want end outcomes. I'm not interested in them. Then what do I want? Whatever comes in life, I should be able to accept it because I understand they are not that significant. They are anitya. They will come and they will go, and I don't need to struggle with them. They will come, and they will come because they have to come. There's a reason why my life is the way it is. My interest now is in solving the problem fundamentally. So you do the result, the actions, which are to be done by you, and whatever result comes, you accept it gracefully. Means you say, okay, this is the result. You want something to be different? You have the freedom to act again. Understand this very clearly. Your freedom to act is always there with you. Nobody is saying don't do anything. Do. But whatever comes, you accept and do again. Your freedom to do is intact. In fact, it is even fresher. You're more fresh to do because you have no judgment about yourself or the outcome of an action. This attitude of doing what is to be done, recognizing Ishvara, the laws of Ishvara give the outcome of the result, and accepting what comes as coming from Ishvara, the prasada. In the Hindu culture, what's a prasada? You offer something to the altar and it comes back to you. With that attitude is called prasada buddhi. So if you do this way of living your life, where moksha is your only real aim, you're doing everything in life only to gain a mind which is objective, which is not, assailed by ups and downs of your emotions, etc. That lifestyle is called karma yoga. Most important here is you have to do what is to be done, whether you like it or not. And you should not do what is not to be done, whether you like it, even if you like it. This means your likes and dislikes have to be managed. This is called Karma Yoga. This is one aspect, very important aspect to make your life one which will help you grow into a person who is ready to go for the ultimate answer to the problem of life, which is moksha. The number two is you live a life with values and attitudes, the right values and attitudes. Like I told you a few times, speaking the truth, not hurting others, not cheating, you know, these are all values that you have to hold, and the values have to be kept, which means your actions have to be in keeping with the values. There are a whole bunch of values because you expand, you get many more. So Gita will say, for example, kama, krodha, lobha. These three you should not come under. Kamam, krodham, tatha lobham. What is kama? An inordinate desire for something or other. Krodha is anger, acting out of anger. You can't be free from anger totally, but you can be free from acting out of anger. And you can reduce the instances where anger comes to you, because anger is because you want something to be different. Lobha is greed. You have X, you want 10X. You have 10X, you want 100X. This is called lobha. Kama, krodha, lobha. These are called three doorways to hell in Gita. Because these will take you away from dharma. The pressure of wanting something will make you take shortcuts, will make you compromise. This is to be avoided. Then what is to be taken up? Yama, niyama, living a life of discipline. This is another aspect. Then there is a third aspect of saying, you have to do, if you can, you reach out. You have two kinds of karma, ishta karma and purta karma. Ishta karma means you are engaging in action wherein you directly relate with Ishvara, purposefully relate to Ishvara as a single activity. Okay? Like a prayer, a ritual, a song in the praise of the Lord, a japa. These are all called direct. You're explicitly trying to understand, communicate with Ishvara, be related with Ishvara. This karma yoga I told you about requires you to keep Ishvara in mind all the time, but not easy. Because Ishvara seems to be another. In fact, the word in Sanskrit is paraha. Para has two possible meanings. Para means can mean the other, means remote, not here. Tat, tat pada, we say tat Ishvara. Remote. A cause is always remote. Why is it raining right now? Why did cyclone come? Oh God, that's God, In India now, this has come, even to our country, this crept in. Now what? You look up for God. God is not up, okay? That's some theologies. We never say God is up above. Where is God? What is not God, we ask. But still, the tendency is what now? Upar wala. You look up. That's because of the tendency gained by others in society, where they think heaven living is where Bhagavan lives in. He lives in heaven. But Karma Yoga means you have to already have a relationship of being a devotee. You have to be a devotee, related to Ishvara all the time. It's not that you eat your food and then say, Brahma Pranamastu. That doesn't do anything. You enjoy your food, you lick your hands well, lick your chops. You say it's wonderful food. And after having eaten and till here, then you say, Brahma Pranamastu. Hey, you ate yourself or you offered to Brahma. What did you do? This kind of an idea that you do whatever you like to do and just finally say, I'm surrendering this to Ishvara, I'm offering it to Ishvara. That is not offering. Offering is when you are alive to Ishvara all the way. Which means, look, each of us invariably we play roles, right? So you play roles. You're related to an uncle, you're a niece or a nephew. You're relating to your brother, you're a sibling. You're relating to sister, you're a sibling. You're relating to your spouse, you're a spouse. This is how we relate, right? But who is the one who is doing all these relationships? Who is relating in various ways? There is a you who is changing your hat. Who is that you? That's me. Who is that me? That's the question I'm asking. That me is this body. Okay, all right. Mind, yes, mind also. Senses, yes, that also. What is that? It's you. If it's your body mind sense complex, how come you did not choose a better body, a better mind, better sensitivities? It's given. So, what is this body? Every cell is given to you by whom? We only go and load up on fuel, biofuel. You think about it, okay? Why should the fuel cause your whole body to grow proportionately? Why not, you know, one hand starts growing? Like in a tree, one branch grows, it keeps growing in one side because it sees sun that direction. It'll grow that way. Other branch will keep quiet, not much sun. Correct? It grows like that. Why not you also grow like that? One hand grows, one finger grows very tall because you keep doing this. I'll get you. This finger becomes taller. Other fingers remain small. Does it happen like that? No. How come it's uniform? Suppose, if you look at a body, the size is proportionate. The size of your head, size of your body is proportionate. It's not random. There's a treatment within Indian systems called marma. Marma means there are, points which, like nerve points, there are points in the body like these. Even the, what do you call, acupuncture will have look for points. There are points, pressure points, basically sensitive points. You press them to heal. Now the question is, how do you treat marma to a person? So I was told like this. Look, you put your hand like this, okay? You take this hand, you put it. You put one more hand like this. Third one. Then wherever it comes, that is the middle point, you hold it. Hey, my hand, how is it? You tell me a size, 6 inches, but I can't. Because Bhagavan has designed is such that the measure will be for every body's size, these three hands will be the right place. I mean, it's amazing that you can use your own body's size to find out where is your pressure point to help cure yourself. How is that possible? Because of a design like that. The underlying design is such. I mean, except in freak cases, the eyes are always here, the nose is always here. And there's some, I mean, there's a range. Somebody has a flat nose, somebody has a sharp nose. That ranges are allowed. But still, there's a lot in common. What I'm trying to show to you is that this body mind complex is given. But on what basis do you have this kind of a body? On what basis do you have a flat nose or a sharp nose or a high cheekbone? What gave it to you? Why somebody has long hair, somebody has thick hair, somebody has no hair, somebody has more gray hair? Why? At a young age. You look at their genes, they will say father was bald, grandfather was bald, great grandfather was bald, therefore likelihood I'll be bald. Correct? And now what is medical practice also what is asked for? Is there a history of cardiac disease in the family? Means what? If your grandfather suffered, there's a likelihood there's a genetic connection, which means nothing is random. Correct? So this, how everything is not random, because there is an order behind it. Therefore, this body is not your body. This body is given to its custom made for you. Each of our bodies and minds are custom made for us. We have custom ordered like a Rolls Royce. Rolls Royce, the story is you don't make it in a factory. It's not mass produced. If you want it to be mass produced, they will say you're not our customer. You should look for that custom made. Like modern days, what's happening? If you want to buy something in some store, some clothes, ready-made, it's easy. You want to get one tailored? Find out now. It costs you a lot more. The tailors are reducing in number. You want to see earlier floor mills, just simple floor mills. You would have one in every neighborhood. Now try finding a floor mill in your neighborhood. Likelihood you may not find one. Because everything is now coming packed. Atta, 5 kilos. Atta, 1 kilo. You buy. And they will tell you it's fortified. First they take out, they polish the rice very nicely. Then the rice bran is used to make oil, for which you make money. Right? Then after taking out oil, what is remaining is sold as powder, for that which you make money. And now what do? You tell the fellow, we have fortified, you add some bran back. What a brilliant way. Why am I going all over? So the point is that this body, this mind, everything is going in an order. And that, I was saying, it is custom built. Your body is custom made. Your mind is custom made. And what is the currency with which you paid to make it custom made? It's your punya and papa, adrishta karma. Right? Now you see, to recognize that see, if you say this part of the body, this is me, mine, every cell is regulated, governed by Ishvara. Every thought that occurs in your mind is governed by Ishvara. Every emotion that arises in your mind, if you ask Ishvara, he'll say, perfect. That is exactly the emotion you will get if this is your background. There's nothing wrong with you. I feel uncared for, I feel lonely. Perfect. That's how you would feel. That's what Ishvara will say. Because there is no flaw. There is no possibility of a flaw. That's called Ishvara. If you understand this, now what's critical here is you understand there is no individual you who is unconnected to Ishvara. There is no individual who stands apart from the order which is the total. The same order that governs your mind governs every other human mind, governs a dog's mind, governs a cow's mind, governs an elephant's mind. Yeah. The same order governs how your body operates. You open an earthworm, you open a cockroach up, you open a frog, everyone has an alimentary canal. That's the way it is. Everything has a brain. Human brain is more developed, different matter, but there's a brain. If you want to test a medicine, you test it on what? Not on a human being. Where do you test first? On a rat. Poor rat. Or a guinea pig. And then there are human guinea pigs, finally. But once it works on a rat, you are sure it'll work on human being? Means what? Means what? We're very sure this cancer drug worked on a pig. Therefore, it probably will work on you. Means what? Am I a pig or what? No. But the order is the same. That's why you're able to say what worked on the pig is likely to work on human being. A veterinarian with smaller dose, I believe, can treat human being. In the sense, same problem, okay? Same problem. Same idea that this thing, understand? Not that you should go to vet to get treated. Okay. The fact is there is an underlying order. And no body, no mind, no sense is away from it. Which means that while you choose to relate with people by choice or by circumstance, I see my father, then only I become a son. I see my sister, I become a brother. I see a teacher, I become a student. But there is one relationship which is not depending on anything. The relationship between you and the total is always there. Between your dad and the total is always there. Between your great grandfather who lived long ago, that person also related to Ishvara in the same way. This relationship is absolute. The relationship between the total and the individual is absolute. You are never an individual unconnected with the total. If you recognize this and you recognize total is Ishvara, then you don't become a devotee when you go to your puja room. Right now, when are you a devotee? What makes you think you're a devotee? When you see a picture of God, when you hear a bhajan, when you're singing some nice song, when you're doing archana, when you're in a temple, you're sitting in your office, corporate office. Are you a devotee at that time or are you a manager? What are you? What are you when you're sitting there? You're not a devotee, are you? In fact, at home also, you have a puja room, which has a door, very convenient. You finish your puja, you close the door. What does it mean now? Now Ishvara is locked up, okay? He is not available to you whole day. Then the next morning you come again, open your light lamp. So how long are you a devotee for? 10 minutes a day. 10 minutes a day. Remaining time, what are you? Brother, sister, manager, right? Tenant, owner, citizen, whatever roles you play. Now, what we need to appreciate is that who plays all the roles is the one who is ever connected to Ishvara. Therefore, you, the basic person, is a devotee. This is something which is not easy to understand. But to the extent you appreciate it, you will find. Otherwise, to use Puja Swamiji's words, we are spasmodic devotees. What does it mean? You get spasms of devotion, okay? You're not always devoted. When there's a problem, you will suddenly say, Bhagwan, 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 do something for me. Spasm of devotion came, right? You're writing an exam, suddenly you will find revenue of all temples will increase. Month of March and April. Why? Board exam. So everybody goes and breaks a coconut. Coconut vendors business also increases, right? Why? Because exam is there. So what is Bhagavan? He is a person who has to give me something for getting my good result in exam. Make the paper easy. I have read only 5 chapters or 15. Make me pass. Very good prayer. But the fact is, you remember Bhagavan, then you are a devotee. Then what happens? You came, you wrote an exam, and you still flunked. This is Bhagavan's mistake. Yeah, he didn't deliver. This creates a problem. Because you say, I prayed, Swamiji, I prayed. I prayed so much. Bhagavan didn't give me. Bhagavan cannot do anything if you don't do what you have to do. Prayer is one more aspect. It's not the only thing. Sitting and praying will not make everything happen. We say, if a lion is sleeping, opens its mouth, deer won't come and fall into its mouth. It has to hunt. So, like two wheels of a chariot, one wheel is your will, your effort. The second wheel is prayer. But prayer makes a difference. If one wheel is broken, it doesn't matter which wheel is broken, your chariot still won't move smoothly. And currently, usually, for us, Ishvara is like one more fellow. Out of mind, out of sight. Out of sight, out of mind. What do we want to grow into? We want to recognize this is not one of those relationships which are temporal, which come and go. This relationship is something which is absolute. If you understand what I'm saying, it means that you are never away from Ishvara. Therefore, it's a devotee brother, a devotee father, a devotee spouse, a devotee uncle, a devotee employee, a devotee employer. Now, the devotee has no problem. What do I mean by devotee has no problem? Look at this. If you drop your individual demands, first you are, then only you think of some demand. Correct? First you are. That you are is intrinsically connected with Ishvara. That's what I call a devotee. This is what we call in the meditation the basic person. See the linkages. We say in the meditation, you first drop all your agendas, drop demands, grant the world the freedom to be what it is. To do what? So that you free yourself up from the world. It's not that you're freeing the world. You're freeing yourself from your own demands of the world. I want the world to be different, so I have no time to myself. Let the world be. Just because you said this shouldn't happen, the world didn't change. The world continues to be what it is. Therefore, I deliberately in meditation give myself an occasion where I can come to touch with myself. I let go my agenda, I let go my demands temporarily. And even that I can let go by saying, Ishvara, you take care of the problem temporarily. And now you let go the demands and you become objective to the world, which means you don't want the world to be different. You just look at the world. This is how it appears to me. Then you look at your own body. This is how the body is. No demands. You look at your mind. This is how it is. No demands. You're just a person who is aware. This awareful person, if you're totally free from demands, is the basic person. And that basic person still enjoys the mind, still hears, still can talk, still can see, still can feel the sense of touch. Memories come, but nothing makes you a role player. You're just an awareful presence, a being. That awareful being, the basic person, is endowed with these faculties. And that basic person we want to appreciate now is invariably connected to Ishvara because all the faculties are Ishvara. And what is the distance between your mind and that giver of the mind? There's no distance because the giver is in the form of the given. Therefore, you need to we appreciate now that I'm a devotee. And the devotee is never demanding if you're this basic devotee. You're happy being a devotee. You're comfortable just being yourself. Now you add devotee plus. Then you start suffering from something. What happens? Devotee is there. Now devotee says, I'm a brother. I'm a brother. Therefore, what? Why should my brother get a bigger share of the property than I do? Problem starts. I'm a father. I wish my daughter got married. Problem. The father has a problem. The devotee didn't have a problem. The devotee father has a problem. Understand? Father has a problem means devotee father has a problem. Can you say devotee father, devotee brother, devotee uncle, devotee aunt, devotee citizen? Now what happens? You fall back from the devotee father to the devotee. You let the father go. You fall back from the devotee employee to just the devotee. Let the employee go, you remain. The devotee remains. This means you cannot be away from Ishvara. Otherwise, Ishvara is only when you remember, you become a devotee. Otherwise, you forget Ishvara. Ishvara becomes another uncle who you dismiss at will. That relationship doesn't help us much. Karma Yoga requires me, wants me to grow. Karma Yoga is only effective if I can grow to that person who is a devotee first and a devotee last. Never not a devotee. Bhaktoham. That is called bhakta. That is called bhakti. Maicha ananya yogena bhaktirabhyabhicharani. Gita will say. Abhyabhicharani, not going away. A bhakti that doesn't go away. How will it not go away? What doesn't come doesn't go. As you're born related with Ishvara, aren't you? This birth is Ishvara only, coming in that form, manifesting. See, we also are born related as son, daughter. You cannot avoid it because you have a mother. Therefore, you are born as a son. And not only a son, you are born as a brother, you are born as a sister, you are born as a niece, nephew. But that birth itself, every step in the process is Ishvara only. So even as we understand this, your life gains a certain space. Because now it's not a necessity to connect with Ishvara deliberately, but to get here, to get to the point of you recognizing the devotee in you by seeing you're ever connected to Ishvara calls for a lot of understanding. This is what we call Ishvarizing one's life. And to bring out this devotee is one has to do explicit acts of devotion in the beginning. You don't become a devotee without, you don't become a friend without transacting like a friend, without actions of a friend. Do you? How do you go and look at your life, okay? How did you become friends with somebody? What made your friendship deep and lasting? Even if it's between two spouses, what made the relationship deep and lasting? Is it just that you share one common house, one roof over the head? Is that all? Is it just that you share children? Is that all? What makes what makes you what makes a relationship stand? Where you don't look for space from each other. What makes a relationship stand? Any relationship need not be spouse, any relationship. So suppose you have you have a you have your anniversary. Somebody calls you on your anniversary. Happy anniversary. Does it make a difference to you? Or does it not? You have a Deepavali. Somebody wishes you happy Deepavali. Does it make a difference to you? Somebody sends you a sweet box. Does it make a difference to you? Somebody comes personally, gives you a sweet box, wishes you. Does it make a difference to you? Somebody comes, invites you home for Diwali and gives you, takes good care of you. Do you make a difference to you? Somebody comes and sends you one message, happy Diwali. And you see hundreds of messages like this. He has sent it to all his mail list. Does it make a difference to you? What makes a difference to you? The fellow who came personally, invited you, greeted you, does he make it? Does his relationship grow? Or is the fellow who sends you these bank calls and message, happy birthday, happy Diwali, bank sends you. Why? Because they have the benefit of having your date of birth with you. Do they really care? It's a computer program, it does the job very well. It picks up and sends a message. Depending on age, it will tell you, now you're a senior citizen, enjoy some facilities. That's all it can do. Does it warm your heart up? Now the style is what? You will get a letter from the CEO of the bank. He'll have signed. It'll look like it. What sign he will do? He doesn't know who you are anyway. It's like the passport hand signature President of India. But when is there a relationship? I'm asking you, what builds up a relationship? I'm very busy working. I want to make all the wealth for my family. I don't see you whole day. I go in the morning before the children wake up, and I come back night when they have gone to bed. Whole schooling years have gone like this. And I sent them abroad to study because I made so much money for them. Is there a relationship between me and a child? Except as a, you know, person who fills my account up with money as I want? Is there a relationship? What builds a relationship? Do we as a family eat together? Does it make a difference? You examine what is it that builds a relationship? Is it the time you spend in the relationship or not? Being related? Is it not an expression of what's in your mind through an act? Acts change depending on the culture. In one culture, it may be a namaskaram, like in our culture. In another culture, it may be a hug. But does it make a difference? So, how do you nurture a relationship? Any relationship. We have to work on the relationship, isn't it? If you go to a marriage counselor and tell you I have marriage, I have a problem, what will you say? Please work on your relationship. You have to work. Work means what? You have to do something. Action alone sustains relationship. Emotions have to be displayed through an action. We are all not, India generally is not great with this in some ways, okay? And in the West, it's too hyped up, I feel at times. It's you go and a child gets up, it comes in the morning, I love you, mommy. I love you too. It goes to school, comes back again, I love you, mommy. I love you too. You hear this 150 times in a day, it becomes a cliched statement, I feel. That's not doing much. It's like thank you. Wherever you go, you hear a thank you. It doesn't mean anything. But if you don't hear a thank you, it means something to you. It didn't even say thank you. So what I'm saying, similarly, how are you going to build up this relationship which doesn't exist with Ishvara? All this to only make you see that if you want relationship, you need to invest time in it. You need to invest attention to it. And how do you relate to the Ishvara? You start with explicit acts of relating. What's an explicit act? A puja is only, you go to the temple only to see the Lord. Start there. Start in your own altar. If singing a bhajan brings it out, do it. Do something to bring out the devotee in you. You need to do that. Therefore, what we call ritual worship, which people just condemn as ritual means your whole body is involved, helps build relationship. You call a person happy birthday, you go shake his hands, different. You give him a hug, more different. You spend time with him, even more different. Is it not? Bhagavan is very simple, but we need to relate with him. He doesn't demand anything from us. Patram pushpam phalam thoyam yome bhaktya prayachati. You offer a fruit, you offer a bottle, you offer, that's your emotion. For your son's birthday, you're thinking, what would I get him? iPad or iPhone? You decide. What about Bhagavan's birthday, Ramanavami? He comes and goes. No change. Means no relationship. It's just another holiday. Holiday better be holy day, okay? That's how the holiday word started. For us, there is no holiday. There's only Parva, a day to celebrate Bhagavan. But I'm saying the festivals also help you in relating. Because on specific festivals, daily you don't do, but one day you have to do something more. Shivaratri, you have to sit and do Om Namah Shivaya for a longer time. Convention, but that helps you build a relationship. Janma Ashtami, you have to offer a lot of goodies to Bhagavan. So you cook with love, not because you like to eat murukku. Correct? So I'm saying in everything, if your relationship with Bhagavan, if you want to relate, offering a flower is a relationship. Someone, one of Swami Viditatmananji's students, I think her name is Guru Priyanji. So when I visited their ashram, I was told, she offers malas to Swami every now and then. And she herself, puts the garland together. And for every bead she's adding, she does a japa, prayer. And then only she makes the garland. For each bead, there's a prayer, japa for length of time, which means that it's a garland of japa being offered. Your devotional being offered. He may or not know, but the devotion in her will definitely improve. That relationship with Swami is different for her. She is called Guru Priyanka. Bahurihi samasa. Guruhu priya yasya. And since Guru is priya to her, Guru also loves her. Therefore, it becomes Tatpurusha also. So, what I'm saying to you is that the relationship is like that. Every relationship needs to be built and nurtured. And I'm saying, if we want to grow into the freedom that Vedanta talks about, we have to have a very healthy, lasting, robust relationship with Ishvara. This is a necessity. And what is Ishvara? All that is here is Ishvara. I have talked about that to you earlier. What is Ishvara? What is? Anything you see is, anything you don't see also is. Your emotion is Ishvara. Your pains are Ishvara. Your joy is Ishvara. People are Ishvara. Their behavior, Ishvara. The world, Ishvara. Stars, Ishvara. Swami, what does it mean? It means all of that is governed by one conscious being, all-knowing, called Sarvakya. What will I gain with all this? You start by wanting something from Ishvara. Then you want to know Ishvara. And finally, you know Ishvara. You never know Ishvara as one more fellow sitting somewhere. You finally will only know Ishvara totally clearly as non-separate from you. Not this body. I told you, devotee means basic person is a devotee. But the devotee's truth happens to be Ishvara. This is where Vedanta will take us. All right. Therefore, in order to gain that, one, I'm saying there's a directly relationship relating with Ishvara, Ishta Karma. It's called Ishta. However you relate, but choose a way to relate. You like to worship with a form, have a form. You don't like have a form, don't have a form. But a form is good. If you have an allergy to forms, examine why. In fact, if you want to gain devotion, you do something with your hands. That ritual worship will help. I have known people who just talk Ishvara and bhakti won't come. But if they start even lighting a lamp, it brings a change to their life. Brings a change. You have to have the desire to have a relationship with Ishvara, not mechanical. It's love. In the beginning, you do it without really liking it, with some resentment, but to grow out of the resentment. Have the desire to grow out of the resentment. Have a desire to have a relationship with Ishvara. That will make a difference. You know, people who have Shraddha, something happens. Somebody went for a Tirtha Yatra, they had a lot of trouble, but when they went to the place, they became okay. Shraddha. It delivers, you know. It delivers. When you go with that Shraddha, it delivers. This relationship with Ishvara is extremely important. This is Ishta Karma. To build a lasting relationship, to be a devotee all the time, a basic person devotee, you need to bring out the occasional devotee first. Then that occasional devotee has to grow into a devotee all the time to understand it. But it takes that relationship. This is one. Second is Purta Karma. You reach out and do things. You help a person in need. You reach out in whatever way you can, you reach out. Reaching out doesn't always mean financial. An old person who's alone, you just talk to them for 10 minutes, they'll be happy. Because they want somebody to talk and there's nobody who sits by them. They are alone, they feel lonely. And they want to talk about something of their age and you have no interest in that. And sometimes the old person are senile and they will keep repeating, they will ask you the same question 5 times. And they will tell you, I forgot. Did I ask you already? Oh, okay. So if you 3 times a time, you already asked this question. I already told you. Then they get afraid. They will go into a shell. But the fact is, reaching out, you accept them. And he starts telling you of his age. You know, you ask an old person, he can start from his childhood. We did this, life was like this. You have heard it 10 times. 11th time, you have to hear patiently, as though you're hearing first time. That's reaching out because that person feels validated. A child in need. Anybody. You know, you're standing at a counter in some hospital, and somebody doesn't know how to use the system there. You help them. Reaching out. somebody has a problem in traffic, you help them. You can. All I'm saying is, how you reach out is up to you. There's no definition for it. Reaching out means you are giving yourself in some way, resources or your time or your help, whatever it is. It's called Purta Karma. And these are categorized in the old time, You do things for public use, not for your own benefit. You build a temple, you build a resting place, you desilt a lake, you dig a pond, you dig a well, you plant trees, you know. So all of these are to help the whole community, not just you. You lend your hand in a community project. And in all of this, what's important? You're not doing it for a personal ego gratification. You're doing it as a contribution, better an unnamed contribution. So if you've seen many of these missionaries, they will send you a letter saying, we are running this charity and, would you like to support a child? And they'll send you a picture of the child and you adopt a child. And for 10 or 12 years, they will keep sending you a picture of the child saying, your child is growing up like this. They'll make the child write a letter. When Swamiji started Aim for Seva, he was asked, can we do the same? He said, no. Why? Let the donor be anonymous in this case. He should not do it for the ego gratification that child says, because of you, I'm doing well. Let that not happen. You see the outlook there. That you do it because it should be done, not because you want to fatten up your ego saying, you know what, look, I support 5. I saw somebody like this in the US. They had pictures of 5 children on their desk. Who are they? Oh, this is this child in MP, this child is in Bihar. I'm supporting all these children for the last 5 years. So they send you all these frame pictures, so you feel good about it. Anybody comes, it's a talking point. Look, how much charity I'm doing. Or they will give you a badge which says what? Supporter t-shirt. You wear it and go. Feel good? Not for all this. Do it because you want to reach out. This is called Purta Karma. So values, attitudes, Ishta Karma, Purta Karma, and doing everything you do only with the goal of moksha, which means I want nothing except the preparedness to understand the truth of myself and the world. This is what a mumukshu is. A person who has a single-minded dedication towards this. If that is the person I am, then Vedanta will enter my head like no trouble, with ease. But if I am not that person, then what happens? Then Vedanta comes, it pours. But like it pours on a rock, it will just flow away. If it pours on a garden, the plants, spring to life. But if it pours on a rock, what happens? It rained all right, but the rock didn't absorb it. Now, if it rains enough, a hard rock may get softened. There may be cracks in the rock. Understand what I'm trying to say? That listening when we are not prepared can start inspiring us to make changes in our life to become people who can understand. That's how it helps when we don't know it all. It makes a difference. If I didn't hear of Vedanta, there is no reason I would come to this lifestyle. Why would I? You have a successful corporate life, it's enough. What do you need in life? More than enough. Only when you know what you're missing out or what you're lacking by not thinking of the possibilities, you know what you're missing out. See, if you don't know your potential, you always think you're okay. Suppose your child, comes and tells you, oh, I got 60% in marks. Very good. You say, very good, very good, very good. Because nowadays you should not judge children. Very good, very good. But then what will happen? Child will feel 60 is very good. It won't make an effort. 60 it gets by sleeping in class and playing. If you push him a little, he can get 99. But you don't do anything. But when will you know I'm not doing well enough? Only when you know I can get 99. Then my potential is over there. Your potential is to know that your potential is to be free absolutely. Do you want to settle for less? That's your choice. What you want to settle for is your choice. But what's an offer is the wholeness. That's what Vedanta is. Therefore, Vivek Chudamani will begin with a person who has gained a sufficient degree of maturity and objectivity. Such a person is a student who comes to a teacher. And the book will begin with a very brief introduction about what moksha is, etc., very briefly. But then it'll start like a story. Unnamed student, somebody comes to a teacher and says, "Sir, I'm getting roasted in the fire of samsara. I'm getting burned, and the winds of ill bad fortune are blowing very hard, and they're blowing me hither and thither." Poetic, very poetic. "Please help me, save me." And the guru will tell him, "Don't worry. You don't have to be saved. You're already saved." That's what the guru will tell him. Because you're already free. You don't have to do anything to become free. You just need to understand your reality. The problem is a mistake. How is it a mistake? I will tell you. Don't worry. Then it starts outlining the mistake. How you take yourself to your body when the body is changing? How can you be the changing body? You're an unchanging you. How can you be the mind? You are an unchanging you. Like this, it will walk us through seeing the fact that what I have taken myself for does not stand scrutiny. It cannot be my truth. Then what is my truth? By the time you know your truth, all your problems are gone. Because you don't have a problem. The real you is already free. Swamiji, I will be free. Everybody else will have a problem. There is no everybody else. Everybody else is just an appearance, including your own body. This is the truth to be recognized, identified, known. So this is a long text. But I'm saying the beginning point is you have done enough homework. How? Through lifetimes. To arrive at a human body with a curiosity to come to a Veda Chudamani class. This means you have done something. Otherwise, you won't end up here. You can't sit in this class. See, we started with, right now there are 57 people in this class attending live. We started with 99. It's only taken 7 classes to drop to 57. A few more classes will drop to 27 also. It doesn't matter. But what I'm trying to tell you is the interest, generally you will see first class X, second class 0.5x probably. The reduction is in logarithmic scale, okay? It's not linear scale. Very interesting. What it shows is that we all have a great enthusiasm to do something right. It's like New Year, You buy a New Year diary. It's telling you because New Year is coming, You buy a New Year diary. What do you do with it? You start writing diary. How many days do you write? How many people buy a diary and then give it to their children to use as rough notebook next year? I have used them. Because there's no purpose for a diary, okay? Nobody writes it. But for 5 days, 10 days, they will write. Maybe 1 month they will write. Then what happens? Enthusiasm goes away. Enthusiasm is not sustained. Sustaining enthusiasm is not simple. Because you need to have that love for it to sustain it. And to have love, you must see value in it. So unless you see value in this Vedanta is it's not something like leadership skills, etc. There's no immediate benefit to you, which may be apparent to you, but there are a lot of benefits. What is the benefit? Primary benefit, you free yourself. And if you want to become a student of Vedanta, you will free yourself from a lot of troubles. Simply because you have to become tuned with reality. You have to become objective. You have to see that the problem is not in the world, the problem is my demands. You have to see that the solution is not in the world, the solution is centered on me. I cannot continue to blame the world for the way I feel. I am barking up the wrong alley then. If I want to solve my problem, the first thing I have to diagnose, where does the problem lie? If I don't even know where the problem lies, how will I find a solution? Every solution is a patchwork because I don't know what the solution, what the problem is. I keep fixing the doors and windows when I have a problem. How do I fix myself? Recognize whatever needs fixing, you're free from. This, therefore, Swamiji would do talk whose topic was the problem is you, the solution is you. That's the topic of his talks for 1 week. Another topic, Vedanta has no problem, psychology has no solution. These are topics, okay? Because Vedanta has no problem. In Vedanta's view, you are perfect, you're Ishvara. There's no problem. But how? If you want to understand, you have to stay with this Shastra for a length of time. And if you are prepared, Puja Swamiji would say, if a person is prepared, they could come to one class and walk away free, if they're really prepared. What takes time is growing into a person who can be objective and appreciate what is being said. And that growth is possible through a life of, I told you, values, attitudes, a life converted to yoga, which means you do your actions with the awareness of Ishvara, do what is to be done, and let the outcome, accept the outcome without complaint, without murmur, and again do what is to be done. Stay the course. Keep moksha as a view. Reach out where you have to, where you can. Relate with Ishvara explicitly to build up that relationship. If one does all this, then one gains a certain attitude, a certain mindset, an objectivity, wherein I know I can see the difference between what is valuable, what is not, what is temporary, what is not temporary. What do I value? Does it really have value or not? I have a say over my emotions, at least my emotional outbursts. And I always have the end in view. Moksha is my only end. I told you earlier, I'm going after wealth, not for wealth's sake. I'm going after relationship, not for relationship's sake. I'm going after dharma, not for dharma's sake. What am I really after in and through all this is a freedom from a sense of lack centered on me. That goal, I try not to lose sight of. Adhyatma jnana nityatvam tattva jnanartha darshanam. Etat jnanamiti proktam ajnanam yatatunyatha. So Gita Bhagavan says this, that the means of knowing is not just Shastra. The means of knowing is your values and attitudes. Amanitvam, Madambhitvam, all of them are listed in a row. Why? Because a person for any other profession may just be a professional qualification. Your value for dharma, your honesty, your love, your care, your compassion, they make no difference in any profession. Well, it may affect your professional growth to some extent, but they are not the criteria. A scientist can be very rude with his spouse and still be a scientist. A scientist can be a non-caring businessman. A businessman can be very successful and have a failed marriage. A person may be a president, but may have no personal life. So, what makes a difference? The compassion. Compassion is a very important value. It's the plus side. Ahimsa is non-hurting. Compassion is positive. Do something. Reach out. How does it help? It will help. This is a different pursuit. Here you have to grow as a person. It's not in terms of what you have or what you don't have. It's not your possessions. It's not your name. It's not your fame. You just want to be free, and to be free, you have to be relatively free. That relative freedom is what has to be gained in life. So the goal of life, first step, is to gain the relative freedom. And if the relative freedom is gained, then one has the insight generally to say, this is not what I'm looking for. Then the question is, what is it that what will really set me free? That's when Vedanta becomes a real effective means of knowledge for one. So with that, we will, end today's class, and we will have the next class only in January. Sometime in January, whole of December, I'm traveling to do some residential classes, so I will not be able to take these classes. Poor internet connection. So I will resume in first, second week, sometime in January. Okay, you will get, if you're on the Vivek Chudamani mail group, you will get a mail to that extent. All right. So wish you all a pleasant December. Keep this. I just built up the whole introduction so that now when we start in New Year, we will start with the text and we will take off. That's the idea. So you have a background and you have time to look up the background. If you have the time and your inclination, take some book of Puja Swamiji, simple public talks like Action and Reaction, Freedom in Relationship, Discovering Love, Living Intelligently, Success. So many books, Value of Values. Pick one up. If you are happy reading it online, you have an app called Teaching the Swami Dayananda. Download the app. Use it. Young people may enjoy that. Read. Puja Swami is a phenomenal communicator. I have not seen one more like him. It will bless you. Read. Get an understanding of what is all about. Then a Vedanta class will really make sense to you. Otherwise, interest will, decline asymptotically. Finally, it will just go. Okay. So, wish you all the best, and I will see you all. Whoever decides to come back, I'll see you all sometime in January. Okay. So you will see a mail then, and then we will pick up the text and we'll go. So meanwhile, if you want to get a text, let me say that too right now. So there's a text online, is no problem. You'll find one. There is this book. This is from Gita Press, Vivek Chudamani. It has a Hindi translation. Okay, and it will be very inexpensive. Number 133 in Gita Press books. Very simple book. If you want to get one, you can. Or there are books from Ramakrishna Mission with Vivek Chudamani, English translation. You can get that if you like. I don't expect that you have to have anything, but if you want a text handy, you get what you like. So you have the time to order books from somewhere if you like. And there's one book called Vivek Chudamani, 108 Verses by Puja Swami, which will cover 108 verses, which covers the whole text in essence, not verse by verse. I am planning to go verse by verse and see how it moves. Okay. So there'll be some redundancy, some repetition, but we will use it to the extent we can helpfully, because sometimes we need a lot of repetition, for things to settle in. So we can use that. And some areas are very beautiful in Vivek Chudamani. That's why I started that. So this is where we will go. All right. So no Vivek Chudamani, no Brihadaranyaka, no meditation, no classes till mid-Jan or first week of Jan. We'll see when. Okay. Thank you all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Swamiji. Pranam.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Om
Swamiji.
Swamiji. Om
Pranam,
Swamiji.
Swamiji.
Shate Om Shanti Shanti.
Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
All right. So if you have any
Om
questions, you're
Swamiji.
welcome. Still available. If anyone has questions, I'll take them. Huh? Okay. Then we'll